Hi, welcome to my craft room. Everyone loves receiving a gift card, so let's package it up in this gorgeous gift card holder. This pulls off like so, and you put your card in there, or money if that's what you choose, and that's what we're going to learn tonight. So let's get going. We're working with our Marina Mist cardstock, and I am scoring this at 3 3/4, and this measures 8 by 4 1/8. Go to my website and you'll find all of the measurements, because we're going to be talking a lot of measurements here, so that you don't get confused. Just go in there and I'll have it all written up for you. Here's the topper, and this topper is 4 by 5 1/4, and I'm going to score this at 2 1/8. And I've already taken my finger and rubbed over this to let the oils in my fingers cause that to glide with ease. Let's just set these aside for the moment. I just got a new bottle of Crystal Effects. This is something I use all the time, and you're going to see me using it in different ways. It's a wonderful high gloss 3D medium. You'll unscrew this, which I've already done that, and wow, the cap has come loose, but we want to take this seal out of the cap. So let me remove this, because it's not going to come through with that seal in there. Then screw it back on good and tight. And this bottle is totally closed up. If I do it like this, nothing's going to come loose. We're going to have to snip this off. And this is what I want you to see, is not to snip it too far. So just do a little bit, take a look and see, and that should be just about right. I want you to see that I've cut a small opening in the top of this. If you cut a real large opening, it's going to come gushing out and you're going to be real sorry. You will not have the control with it. So this is really an important tip for you to remember. And always keep the cap on it. It's best when working with this to squeeze a little bit out and then take the tip and kind of push it into your different areas. Like this is pretty tiny. So I squeeze out a little bit in the center, and then I'm pushing it forward and back. Another thing to remember is when you're working with Crystal Effect, you're better to put 2 to 3 coats, but you want to put thin coats. If you get it too thick, you're going to be sorry. It's going to be more of a blob. You're not more blurry. You're not going to be as happy with it. So there's my first coat. Let that dry for about 15-20 minutes, and then I'll put the next coat on. But let me just take a second and show y'all what I've already done. This is one of the elements that I cut from our Letters from Santa, and this has 2 coats on it. And doesn't that look pretty? See how that just has such a high gloss to it? And then of course our Santa. And all there is to this is cutting it out and then just putting a little bit of the Crystal Effects on it. That's all there is to it. And then this is what I just did. Can you see that? Isn't that beautiful? I wanted you to see this Letters from Santa, the postage stamp sheet. I went in and I cut out different postage stamps that did not have a lot overlaying. Like you can see here, this one overlaps ever so slightly, but I still went with something like that. Up here, I didn't. I want you to see the contrast of adding the Crystal Effects. Isn't that just so stunning? It really brings it to life. We're back to the base of our card, and I'm putting sticky strip along the front portion of this, and I have already added my Letters from Santa. And the dimensions on this paper layering is 4 by 3 5/8. 4 by 3 5/8. Got my sticky strip on, and this paper piercer is awesome for picking that up. But before we do that, I'm almost forgetting. I want to use my Punch Petals Card Double. I don't know if y'all have worked with this punch or not, but this takes a lot of force. So I'm kind of standing up here to get that in so that I can really put some muscle into it. I am putting, this is where it's going to open up, right like so, and I'm going to slide this in so that I have half of this punch in it. Does everybody follow what I'm saying? So now I'm going to use both hands, and I am really going to push hard on that. And voila! I wanted to be sure and show you that I did round the top portion of this. So just as a reminder, the lower portion is shorter than this. This is a 1/2 of an inch from the top. And look how cute this punched out. So these punches all have many, many uses. All right, I've got my sticky strip on here. So I'm going to use my paper piercer and I'm going to lift this and we will close this up. I've been working on this particular design for a while. I saw this and really liked the looks, especially of the topper. I love the bow. So I wanted to make it just a little more dimensional. So I enlarged it as well as over the one that I had seen. So this is a little bit larger. So now just close that down like so. Then your card is going to slide right in here. And I just took one of my cards that I use at the store and just to try it out. Then just put it in about like so. So we basically have the bottom all finished. This is for one of my viewers who asked me about combining designer papers. And so I'm doing this for her to show her just how easy it is to do that. So this is from our Letters from Santa. This is from our Frightful Sight. Yep, our Halloween paper. Look at the spiders on the back. But we're hiding those. What you can do if you have colors in here that are working with your color scheme, like this is the Cherry Cobbler, you can turn some of your other colors into that color. Like here's gray. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to punch out. I'm going to punch a few of these little circles out. Then take my glue stick. The easiest way to do that is to simply take these and just rub them across and adhere those on. I'm covering up the gray because the gray has nothing to do with what I'm going with. And you can see that I've got them extending over here. So what I'm going to do is just turn this around, take my scissors. Okay, and this is a 2 by 5 1/16. And we're going to place that onto the front. And with this, I told you the measurements of this earlier, you're going to notice that it is a little bit shorter in the back. Now this was something that I experimented with to give ease of sliding this off and on. I found that by having that just a little bit smaller, it made it so much easier. Now, look how that goes together. So we'll adhere that on and then I will show you how to do the bow. Now the fun begins. We're going to make the bow. This bow starts by using the smaller oval punch, which has now been discontinued, but I love this punch and I use it all the time. I can't live without it. And then we're going to use the larger oval punch and we are going around that opening and we're going to punch out the negative, and that's what gives us our loop for our bow. So you want to do 5 of those. Can everyone see this okay? What I've done is I've got my designer paper on, remember, with our little circles that we've glued onto there. And now I'm going to start with the middle. And we're just going to put a little bit of this multi-purpose glue down. And I start with my middle and put that up. And then I'm going to go to each side of that. And I want these kind of laying down. So, like so. And I think I'll just pull this over just a titch. Can everybody see that okay? And now, last but not least, we're going to fill in. So we'll put more multi-purpose adhesive. And this adhesive is so awesome. It's very sticky and stays really well. And then you're going to fill in between your 3 loops. And if you want to play with that, bring it down a little bit. And I think that's just what I'm going to do, is bring it down just a titch. Bring it down just a titch. Don't want that higher than my center. I want to make sure everybody can see this okay. So we have 5. We've done our smallest oval. Then we've gone around that opening. And we have then punched that out. And we have spread that out, 2 to each side, 1 in the center, and then filled in. And last but not least, this is our stamp that I have now put 2 coats of the Crystal Effects on. Another little tip I want to tell you on that Crystal Effects, and I've pulled my dimensionals off, and I'm going to position this on, and that is, do not shake your Crystal Effects before using it. It's not anything that, it's like a glue, and it does not need to be shaken because it will cause bubbles, especially when you're doing this 3D art. It'll cause bubbles and you won't be satisfied with it. So what do you think? Look cool? All right, so now we're ready to slide it on. Let's see. The proof is in the pudding. And there we go. And I wanted to tell you also, if I hadn't earlier, the reason I had this little 1/2 inch extension right here, I tried having them the same, and I found that it was a little bit harder to get on. Having this, it also lifts your top up. So there is a little bit of science in this madness here. So, and it slides right on and right off. Merry Christmas, everyone.